Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, is this Lex Super Tube? Let's get into the news. And if you didn't know, Megan Thee Stallion released Megan Act 2 a few days ago. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Megan Thee Stallion also released a documentary on Amazon Prime, and we're gonna get into what's going on with this a bit, because Megan Thee Stallion, her sales came out today. And listen, y'all, as we speak, I know in the video I might sound calm and all of that, but as we speak, the hotties is on your boy ass right now. On Twitter X. Because look, let me tell y'all why. I got on Twitter X earlier because I saw a report that said Megan Thee Stallion's Megan re-enters this week's Billboard 200 at number 13 following Act 2. And then it says she sold 41,000 units. I was like, wait, hold on. Something sounds whack with this. And you know, like, when we say something sounds whack, that just means it sounded a bit fishy. It sounded a little sketchy. How you go from 8K to 13K, then you go to 41K sold? Somebody talk to me about this. I still can't tell you one song I heard off the album. Anybody been seeing it anywhere? How you selling 40K and nobody seeing the singles from the music circulate online? That sounds like somebody bought the sales to inflate numbers, man. Did the Amazon documentary really push through an increase of 30K in sales? And then they've been on my ass since. There were reports that said that Megan's album was going to sell 8K to 13K. Usually, when the music drop, you see some viral presence of it. People were talking about Mamushi. Well, look, Mamushi came out earlier this year, and then Meg put the remix on Megan Act 2. That's gonna automatically make the project do some numbers because that song was going crazy. But other than that, and bigger in Texas, I'ma keep it a beanity with y'all. I'm not really seeing that much singles circulate online right now. So when they're saying that she sold 8K to 13K, I was like, yo, look, I'm not seeing the singles nowhere. But then she dropped the documentary. And I definitely want to get into the documentary. But that's why I'm like, look, prior to the documentary, I was not seeing the song, really any song from the project going crazy. After the documentary, the only thing that I really saw was bigger in Texas. And there were people talking about TikTok. Look, I don't really jack TikTok like that. For music, if something is hot, then it'll leak over on the X. It'll leak over on the YouTube. It'll leak over on the gram. If something is really, really popping, it's not just gonna stay on TikTok. The way Mamushi was buzzing when it first came out, I'm not seeing that for no other song. Megan had to twerk for me to see bigger in Texas. And I did watch the documentary, hotties. I did see that documentary. And we got to keep it a bean with that. That documentary is polarizing because what it does is it gives you insight onto why Meg is Meg, how she rose to her position of prominence, and big ups and blessings to her mom. Yo, her mom is a legend. Her mom is a really dope lady, and shout out to Megan's mom for real, because that documentary, I don't want to say that it humanized Meg, because I never looked at Meg as not being a human on some weird, but I'm like, it made you understand her mental mind frame and a bit on why she moves how she does. Her mom almost was like the most supportive homegirl I ever seen. That was a really touching thing to watch. And her mom is just a great mom. And then it also goes into her father. They vibe out, have a great time. And then, unfortunately, he transcends. It was just a very great documentary in terms of the storyline. Now, that's just on a general level. When it comes to the Kelsey part, it looked like Meg and Kelsey, there's aspects of their relationship that Meg, I think, still wants to be friends with Kelsey. Kelsey got a good 20 minutes in that documentary. You definitely saw some things going on in the background of what made them so close with one another. I can respect that as well, and I think Meg put that in there. There's women out there that look at Meg like, yo, how you screwed over your best friend's man? Because in the documentary, Megan definitely did say that she lied to Gayle King.
Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, she's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Then it's like, yo, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if you lying about one thing, how do we know that you not lying about the others? Y'all get what I'm saying? That's where the mind naturally goes. Gayle King and Meg came out. People was jacking, yo, Meg is lying. And Meg would go online. She would hype up the hotties. And then the next thing you know, they're on your ass like they're on my ass now. What I'm saying is, that eventually creates a public perception. And then this brings us into the details of the Tory Lanez situation that are still a bit sketchy to this day. To this day, America, those details still don't all the way make sense. And if I'm wilding, y'all let me know in the comments, but I know I'm not the only person that thinks that. And Tory Lanez ended up being the stepping stool in that documentary. And also, look, I wouldn't be surprised if a part of this end up in the next Meg documentary, because Joe Budden was in there, 50 Cent was in there, DJ Academics was in there, some of y'all on Twitter X was in there, some of y'all on Instagram was in there, some of y'all in the comments was in there. Yo, listen, if you even touched your keyboard and talked about Meg, there was consideration for you to be on Amazon Prime. Documentary made Mr. Daystar Peterson the stepping stone, and Meg is still selling. Her last album did 60K the first week. It's 60K. Then the next album, the Megan Act 2 that came out last week, now they're saying it did 41K. And I'm also saying this, right? That is an infinite amount of free publicity, and that case received international coverage. Meg should be cracking 100,000. If you're gonna throw Tory Lanez under the bus like that and pick up his career, you should at least be doing over 100,000. I mean, why not? But that's not the case. Megan Thee Stallion's 2 albums combined, if her first album did 60K and this one did 40K, that's 100,000. And listen, Megan Thee Stallion is still doing numbers. Megan Thee Stallion is still doing 40,000, 60,000, and she's also saying that she's independent. Megan Thee Stallion is doing over 80 million streams on each project. And then if she owns her masters, Megan is doing her thing. If she's moving low-key independent and she busting it down with Roc Nation management, Meg probably be laughing at this. You get what I'm saying? Meg probably be laughing. Like, the commentators and the trolls probably getting on her nerves. But, yo, listen, she's wiping her ass with cash. All right? But I think we still got a right to analyze a bit what's going on, because doing 41,000 the first week, you know that somebody could have bought about 10,000 copies if the label or the management, because listen, the management, the perception of the artist still affects the management if you're managing the artist. So if you are intertwined with someone's career and you got the relationships to pull a couple strings, and you know what, let's see if we could get 10,000 extra units or 15,000 units. Listen, do the math with me, alright? If the label or somebody out there, some anonymous party would say, let's do 20%. Let's match Megan 20%. That would be about what? 8,000, 10,000 units? Y'all don't think that somebody, the label, some anonymous party, even if you want, could have bought 10,000 units? You don't think that if somebody said, you know what, let's buy half? Because some people out there say that the label will buy half of the sales. If we would hypothetically say that, that would be about, what, 20,000 units? And that would be, yo, Meg could have did about 20,000 or 25, really, 30,000. Now listen, even if y'all don't want to say that, Glorilla still outsold Meg. And Nicki Minaj did 200,000 units. Nicki Minaj outsold both of Meg's albums that she dropped in the same year, and she outsold them by 3 times the numbers, 5 times the numbers. Y'all get what we're saying here? And all I'm saying is this: regardless, Megan owning her masters and eating off her music, getting the majority share off her music, doing 40,000, and you was twerking at the rally last month. You had one of the most covered cases in hip hop. Period. That Tory and Meg situation, that was like a whole month-long saga. You worked with all of the best artists. You work with Nicki. You work with Beyonce. You work, like, the only thing Meg ain't really catch yet was the Jay-Z feature. Y'all get what we're saying? Megan Thee Stallion gets treated like a pop artist. She hits all the stages that a pop artist would. She gets the coverage. You lied to Gayle King? Listen, Gayle King, that's the sisterhood, baby. That's the sisterhood, America. Y'all get what we're saying here? And this is why I'm saying that with Megan Thee Stallion, her doing 40,000, it's not a flop. And that's the thing with the hotties. I'm saying it's not a flop because, once again, if she owns her masters, but it does say something that you literally have other women in rap doing almost double the numbers. I think it's a quality thing going on, and just Meg is making music for her audience, and it's probably not necessarily relating with the masses as much as others would think. But if she's still doing above 30K every drop, and she's not splitting that bag with the label every single second, that is a W for Meg. Y'all, I know the hotties, they on my ass as we speak, and this video probably still might keep them on my ass. But that's why I'm going to do another one. And in the next video, we're going to get into Meg's career and aspects of it that unorthodox, because I think Meg has one of the most unorthodox career trajectories I've ever seen. I do respect it, all right? And I definitely want to get into that in the next video. So hotties, get on my ass in this video, get on my ass in Twitter X, and get on my ass in the next video, America. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Super Tube and pull up to the next video. Holla, yeah.